And no matter how well I perform on the night, there's going to be people with an opinion who said, you know, Chase isn't experienced enough, or Andrew didn't look that good.
Clause on me and a rehydration clause, and there's a lot of things that go into this fight to make it happen, but I'm the type of guy where I'm a company man first, and I say, you know.
Into a big fight. If you had to be truthful, look, I like Chase, I don't think he'll win. I think Andrew's just got too much.
I thought it was a fantastic fight, very entertaining. I was very happy with it. Yeah, go on, love. What do you expect?
Hot Wheels set. I play with them all the time, buddy.
Andrew, talk to me about the fruit of choice here. Keeping yourself hydrated.
The drama surrounding Andrew Tate and Chase Demoor had been boiling long before either man stepped under the lights. But by the time December approached, the tension had grown into something undeniable. Something that felt less like a fight buildup and more like a cultural moment waiting to erupt. For years, Tate had existed as a storm of controversy, charisma, discipline, and defiance. A man who spoke his name into legend and then spent half a decade away from the competitive world that forged him. To some, he was a relic from a more brutal era. To others, he was the myth made real, returning to reclaim a throne he never officially vacated.
Whatever he wants, give it to him. I don't care about the pay. I don't care about the judges, the arena. I don't care about the weight. Like, just tell me how to get him
good, or he looked sloppy, or whatever. There's always going to be somebody with something to say. There's a lot of people who've been saying my name already, and I'm
know how he's got too much will to say, if anything. But I rate.
Dylan done anything for a punch?
Did you think that he should have done more? I mean, obviously we know that, but I mean, like, did you expect him to do more? I'm sorry.
But standing across from him was Chase Demoor, a name dismissed by some, underestimated by many, and yet, word by word, punch by punch, he had carved a place for himself in the Misfits heavyweight division. He wasn't a kickboxing icon. He wasn't a world champion. But he was the reigning king of the platform that Tate had just stepped into. And he carried the confidence of someone determined to prove that legacy could be broken and rebuilt by fire. The event didn't begin with the roar of the crowd or the dramatic entrance music. It began with a simple question overheard among the fighters, analysts, and fans. Is that even kickboxing? It was a playful jab, the kind of teasing energy that circulates backstage when the cameras are rolling and personalities clash. Yet even in the jokes, the shadow of Tate loomed large. When someone shouted, "Salute Andrew Storm," the echo felt like it belonged to some returning warrior from folklore, a fighter who once dominated the European circuits and left behind a trail of knocked-out opponents and unforgettable performances. The moment he stepped out, introduced as the Pride of Luton, United Kingdom, something electric moved through the room. Andrew Tate was back, but this time, not in the ring he built his legacy in. This time, he was stepping into a new arena, a new identity, a new battlefield where reputation alone wouldn't save him. And then came Chase Demoor. If Tate was the storm, Demoor was the earthquake, massive, athletic, confident, a man whose rise had been mocked, doubted, and dismissed until he put real names on his record and forced the world to take him seriously. He walked out representing Long Beach, California, wearing the weight of his critics like armor. The crowd didn't know whether to cheer or boo, but they knew one thing. He was the man holding the belt Tate wanted to rip from his hands. He wasn't here to pay respect. He wasn't here to bow to the myth. He was here to show that he belonged. Before their fight was even made official, discussions about Demoor's previous bouts circulated among fighters and analysts. Some praised him, some ridiculed him, and some felt he had grown far beyond what people expected. He sealed it in, one commentator said, referring to a controversial point deduction. It had been a hard fight, a physical one that forced Demoor to mature under pressure. Another voice chimed in, it was a good scrap all the way through. Every fighter is shaped by their past wars, and those earlier nights had chipped away at Demoor's flaws and sharpened his instincts. When someone suggested a rematch for that previous opponent, he smirked and said he would still punish the man. Confidence wasn't an issue for Chase. It never had been. But even with that confidence, fighters questioned him honestly. Did you think he should have done more? Someone asked. The answer came layered with honesty. Yes and no. They were surprised he made it into the ring at all. Others said it was a fantastic bout, entertaining, competitive, raw. But the opinions shifted every time a different fighter spoke. Some believed Cruz, one of DeMoore's former opponents, should have pulled out the win, praising his toughness, his boxing angles, his grit. Another saw it as a draw. The uncertainty only fueled speculation, and speculation fueled the narrative that Tate's arrival was going to split the boxing world apart. Because now, instead of facing another influencer, another inexperienced athlete, Chase Demoor was stepping into a ring with a man whose entire life had been shaped by violence and discipline. Tate wasn't just fighting. He was also stepping into his new role as the CEO of Misfits Boxing, a twist that only made the event more explosive. Fans questioned whether this was a power play, a marketing stunt, or a real comeback. Analysts warned that some viewers might be shocked by Tate's performance, either pleasantly or painfully, because Tate's most loyal supporters believed he was still the top G, still the untouchable striker who used to flatten seasoned kickboxers. But others whispered a different tune, that 5 years away from professional fighting was not a small thing. That muscles remember, but speed fades. That confidence wins interviews, not championship belts. The tension between Tate and Demoor escalated further when their trash talk went viral. Tate stood tall, reminding the world that nobody ordered him around. "I chin people for a living," he said. It wasn't arrogance, it was history speaking. But Demoor didn't flinch. He didn't fold. He promised Tate that once the bell rang, no Bugatti, no yacht, no bravado would be there to swing a punch for him. The fight would be decided by fists alone. This wasn't an empty threat. It was a declaration from a champion tired of being treated like a placeholder. The hype only intensified when media personalities chose sides. Legendary 8-time Muay Thai world champion Liam Harrison, revered for his brutal leg kicks and fearless fights, publicly backed Tate. He remembered the younger Tate from years ago, flattening top-ranked fighters with ruthless precision. "This will not end well for Chase," he warned, and fans listened. When someone with Harrison's pedigree speaks, you pay attention. But on the other side was KSI, who reacted with a mix of anger and disbelief when Tate was announced as the new CEO of Misfits. He had said years earlier that Tate would never return to fighting, that losing would destroy the persona he spent years building. To KSI, Tate wasn't coming back for glory. He was coming back because drama sells and controversy brings views. Yet even he didn't anticipate Tate stepping into the corporate throne of Misfits Boxing, taking control of the very empire KSI helped build. His furious reaction became content fuel, memes erupted, and fans debated whether his shock was real or performative. Then came Aiden Ross, unapologetically backing Tate. To him, this wasn't even a debate. "It's not going to be close," he declared. Tate was too sharp, too experienced, too mentally unbreakable. Aiden promised to be ringside, and his confidence echoed across social media. Tate's supporters rallied behind him. Demoor's fans fired back. The fight became more than a championship match. It became a collision of online cultures, fan bases, egos, and narratives. As Tate's comeback neared, he acknowledged the pressure, the opinions, and the constant voices tearing at his legacy. He admitted that no matter how well he performed, someone out there would criticize him, call him sloppy, outdated, slower than before. But in the same breath, he reminded the world of something undeniable. He was the biggest payday in sports entertainment, and this fight was happening because of his name, not Chase's. Tate insisted that nobody cared who Demoor was, that the world was tuning in for him, that he could swap out Chase for anyone else and still make more money. His confidence wasn't fragile, it was towering, immovable, built from decades of discipline. Chase Demoor heard every word, and he rejected every one of them. He claimed Tate was hiding behind weight clauses, rehydration limits, and special conditions. Yet at the same time, Chase presented himself as the company man, willing to accept any terms just to make the fight happen. "Just tell me how to get him in the ring," he said, "and I'll be there." His message was simple. It didn't matter what Tate negotiated, controlled, or demanded. What mattered was what would happen once the gloves were on and the punches started flying. Tate, meanwhile, continued his mental warfare. He said Demoor should show more respect, that the world was tuning in to watch him, not the man holding the belt, that this fight was the Andrew Tate show, whether Demoor wanted to admit it or not. To Tate, DeMoore was a challenger wearing a borrowed crown, a placeholder champion waiting to be humbled. But Chase didn't take the bait silently. His response was sharp, simple, and venomous. He posted publicly that he respected Tate, but he would still beat the mom out of him. He called Tate a coward if he changed the opponent, mocked the excuses, and promised that no matter the weight, the ref, the date, or the judges, Tate knew exactly what was coming. And behind all this drama was the quiet, steady truth. Andrew Tate had been gone for 5 years. He was older now, more calculated, more aware of his own mortality. He admitted he had trained relentlessly, staying in shape long after retirement. He wondered how a full fight camp would feel. And to his own surprise, he felt incredible. Injuries he thought would haunt him never resurfaced. His body felt ready, his mind sharper than ever, his discipline untouched. Chase Demoor, for all his bravado, had his own demons. He came into boxing rough around the edges, ridiculed for his early performances. But he grew, he improved, he evolved. His draw against Gonzalez showed resilience, adaptability, and a newfound maturity. He wasn't the same oversized athlete who had stumbled through his first fights. He was a champion now, and beating Tate would rewrite his legacy forever. Their storylines clashed like two blades dragged against stone, sparking flames long before fight night. Tate represented legacy, technique, experience, and the aura of a warrior from another era. DeMoore represented youth, size, power, and the hunger to prove himself against a living myth. One brought the name, the other brought the belt, and both brought a fire that ensured whoever lost would be forced to walk through the wreckage of defeat for years to come. The closer the day came, the more intense the energy grew. Fans debated endlessly. Analysts argued passionately. Fighters picked sides like they were choosing armies before war. The world didn't just want to fight. They wanted a moment that would define the entire landscape of influencer boxing. Would Andrew Tate rise from the ashes of retirement and conquer the new world? Or would Chase Demoor bury a legend and establish his own era in blood and triumph? One thing was certain. Both men were stepping into a ring with everything to lose. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Tate versus Demoor saga, let us know what you think. Who do you believe has the advantage, experience or momentum? Did Tate return at the perfect time, or is Demoor being underestimated? And which matchup should Misfits build next after this showdown? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you want more deep dive narratives like this. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a new story from the world of boxing and combat sports.